a very especially we're talking about women, an unhappily married woman could sometimes give you really bad advice and dissuade you from even wanting to be married because they'll just be
based
like,
upon her
"Girl,
own situation,
it ain't
right?
all it's supposed to be," and I wish I had my freedom, and I wished I missed the days when I could do whatever I wanted, and da da
Girl,
da.
never
And
get married because this is not the yeah.
yeah, yeah,
Based on her own personal situation, she has now swaying you to not do what may be intended for you.
right.
You may have a small little discrepancy with your man, and you're seeking advice, and this person who is having has a big discrepancy with hers is like, don't ever do it, don't ever get married. You know
Don't
what I
ever
mean?
do it. Right.
And it's trying to sway you into that mentality because it's not working for her.
It's a,
Now
Hmm.
I did see that. I'm sorry,
oh
go
no,
ahead.
no, go ahead.
I did see that what you guys are talking about. There was a show I was watching. I forgot the name of the show, but to make a long story short, um these people it was called it's called Love is Blind. So
Mm-hmm.
basically
Oh yeah,
they
I've heard of
you,
that.
you got you seen it, they're like in two different rooms or whatever,
Right.
and they're just going based off of their emotional connection.
Mm-hmm.
They finally propose. The guy proposes to the woman. He has not seen her physically. Then he finally sees her, and then they get married. So I seen an episode where this woman, she had her mom came in to meet the guy that she was gonna marry, and so she was giving her all this bad advice. Oh, your dad and the guy that I was with before, men are not good, and so since my relationship did not work, my marriages did not work, your marriage is not gonna work, and so it was kind of discouraging the guy from actually wanting to go forth in the marriage, but at the end, it was nice to see that they did come together and get married. So it was nice. Yeah.
Yeah.
But going back to what you guys said, yeah, that's what I see. I seen that as far as like another woman discouraging,
That's
another
horrible. Yeah.
person from getting,
To me,
yeah.
it just goes right back down to who you surround yourself with, what kind of relationships they're in. If you have friends who are, or you're just surrounded by women who are angry or bitter and unhappy in general with themselves, with life, with relationships, honestly, I really don't think you should take too much advice from them at all. I mean, if they're cautioning you, okay, fine. I understand that sort of advice in a cautionary tale about something bad. But people who are just in general negative, bitter, have just a discouraged outlook about life, about relationships. I wouldn't take advice
Hmm.
from them about anything because you're not living the type of life that I want to have. You don't have the type of attitude that I want to surround myself. I like to be around people who are happy and have some energy, have a positive outlook on life, have some self-awareness, some wisdom, some maturity. And if that's not who you are, then what can you add to the relationship? What can I even add to you? Because people like that, they're not even able to receive anything good that you're talking about because they are just they thrive in that negativity. And it's like,
Right.
if you have, even whether you're married or not, you could have been married. I know people who have been married for 20 plus years. Their relationship is dysfunctional. I know at the core that they're not very happy. But yet sometimes they try to give advice about life and about marriage and what other people should do and how to have a happy marriage. And in my mind, I'm thinking to myself, you don't have a happy marriage. So I don't want what you
Right.
have.
Right.
I don't
Yeah.
want a relationship like what you have because what you have, you've learned to be content with it. You've learned to accept certain things that I would not accept, that would not work for me, that I don't think is functional or even normal. So yeah, I don't think I'm gonna be taking any advice from you. I think you have to be real selective about who you listen to and receive from.
And when too, because a long-term relationship will have peaks and valleys. You're gonna have moments where you just don't like this person, but if you're in it
Right.
and
Hmm.
you're that's your partner, you're gonna work through that.
Right.
So you may catch this person at a point where things just ain't happy. You know what I mean? Because it ain't
Hmm.
always gonna be butterflies and rainbows.
Absolutely.
Um, but you might catch that person in that moment, and you know what I mean? You might, what they tell you at that point may not be what they tell you 3 months from now with that same question, because
That's a
their
great point.
dynamic is different. So it's being your own filter on who is giving you advice, what advice you're taking, when you're, all that matters if you're asking for other people for advice. But a lot of people nowadays will simply go online and post whatever discrepancy they have. Right? Their Facebook becomes their advice column. You know
Yeah,
what I'm
That's
saying?
always the worst
Their,
thing to do
their
in the world.
Instagram, it
The
becomes
I
worst
so.
think I
place to
think
get
that's going to
advice.
be a whole nother
You,
podcast if you want to start talking about social media. That's going to be a
I'm
whole
Yeah.
just
nother podcast.
Yeah.